to another video. I decided it's high time for me to do another one of these videos because my last one went over pretty well, but I decided I wanted to do another one because this is fun. It's really fun doing this. So in today's episode of What the Heck Are They Singing, we are going to look at the song Una voce, poco fa from the opera. I almost wanted to say The Marriage of Figaro. It's not The Marriage of Figaro, it's The Barber of Seville, which is in the same universe as The Marriage of Figaro. They're the same characters, same different storyline though. But we are doing Una voce, poco fa from The Barber of Seville by Rossini. But before I dive too much into this song, I kind of wanted to address a few questions I got in my previous video. Some people asked me about like why I did certain things. So I kind of wanted to just share my thought process of like why I did certain things what I did. So yeah, because I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I want to format this video. So give me a few practice runs before I really get it down to specific formula. But one of the big questions I got asked in the last video was why didn't you play the song somewhere in the video? And it's a really good question because I really wanted to put it in the video. I technically speaking, I did put it in the very end, like the end kind of credits, the subscribe screen. But obviously like not everybody's gonna watch that part of the video. But the reason why I didn't put it like in the main part of the video was because I tried to originally and it was really distracting having like the lyrics playing while I'm talking about the lyrics, and so the audio was just like really confusing and it didn't sound very nice, so I didn't want to ruin what I was talking about, and I also didn't want to ruin the actual recording of the song itself that I had. So I tried to throw it in at the end as a little homage to it, and then I kind of hoped that the rest of the video would go mostly smooth at least. And then another question along with that I got a lot was, why didn't you throw in the recording of the accompaniment? And the answer to that is because I couldn't find one. I couldn't get my hands on it. Sometimes these, especially like the vocal songs, I find a lot more orchestral pieces are really easy to find usable versions of them compared to vocal ones. Vocal ones are much harder to find. Like ones I have more legal ability to use and throw in my videos. And then sometimes it's just like some kind of recordings just don't exist, or like good recordings don't exist. You know, ones that I'd want to use as kind of underlying background music. I didn't put an accompaniment in there because I couldn't find one. One or two people even asked me like, why didn't you play the song and put it in there? And great question. I wish I could, number one, but I don't have a piano right now in this moment in time. So unfortunately, like, can't do much about that. But even along with that, even if I did have a piano, that specific song, like, no, I was not gonna be able to play the accompaniment for it. Like I mentioned in that song, that one was a beast. No. And then the last thing people asked me was, well, can you recommend some good recordings of it? So obviously, like, I'm not gonna know every single version of every single song, but I will try to do research on the ones I'm working on. So the one I kind of went to when I was like listening to the song over and over and over again was the one by Isabel Leonard, which you can easily find on YouTube if you just like search in the name Una voce, poco fa. But of course, like, I'm not gonna be able to know every single version out there, so if you have a favorite performance of this song, leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear your recommendations. So, with that out of the way, let's actually dive into the song and look at what the heck they're singing. So this song comes from the opera The Barber of Seville, which, if you don't know anything about The Barber of Seville, the opera The Barber of Seville is based on an older play, also called The Barber of Seville, which was kind of part of a trilogy series. Like there was The Barber of Seville was the first story, The Marriage of Figaro was the second story, and The Guilty Mother is the third story. We mostly know the first two, The Barber of Seville from Rossini and The Marriage of Figaro from Mozart. So this particular opera, The Barber of Seville, is what's known as an opera buffa, or like a comedic opera. So it's supposed to be a really funny storyline, very lighthearted, very happy. I think the whole series of The Barber of Seville is supposed to be that way. I won't give away too many spoilers for this opera, because you should go and find a recording and watch it yourself. But just to kind of give a little setup as to what's going on in this particular song, one of the main characters is the Count Almaviva, who is in love with this woman, Rosina, and he comes with this, I think it's a band of musicians. He comes with these people every night to kind of sing to her and woo her, but he's kind of disguising himself as this man called Lindoro, and Rosina thinks he's this man Lindoro, and the reason why he's doing this is because he's this wealthy count, but part of the reason why he's doing this is he really wants her to fall in love with him for him and not for his money, which is really sweet if you think about it. So the whole opera kind of revolves around him trying to woo her, but she already really likes him, and he's trying to get a little bit closer to her, but her guardian, who's kind of taking care of her, doesn't really approve and is very grumpy, and so as you can imagine, whole big mess, and chaos ensues and comedy follows. So that's kind of the whole setup of this. And this song occurs very early on in the opera. And this particular song is the first time we really get to see Rosina's perspective and how Rosina views the situation going on with this man who she thinks is Lindoro, and kind of what she thinks of him wooing her. So with that, let's dive into the lyrics. So the first line is una voce poco fa, which is the title of the song and means a voice just now. So una voce poco fa, a voice just now. Qui nel cor mi risuono, which means here in my heart right now. So una voce poco fa, qui nel cor mi risuono. So a voice just now, here in my heart right now. So she's liking him, she's feeling something, right? Il mio cor ferito è già, e l'indoro fu che il piago. Anyways, which translates to, my heart is already wounded, and Lindoro was the one who wounded. So she's kind of basically saying with all that, she heard a voice. So prior to this, Lindoro had been singing at her balcony. Singing to her while she's standing on her balcony. So she heard his voice, her heart kind of rang out, and she's wounded, and Lindoro was the one who wounded it. Basically, you know, I'm falling for him, but you know, in a sappy, romantic kind of way. So here's one of my favorite lines of this piece, and this is really why I love this song so much, is it really starts to show the character of Rosina. She's not just some girl of like, I love Lindoro, oh he's so sweet and nice. Like, she's got a little bit of a spitfire nature to her, and we really see that in this line right here. Si Lindoro mio sarà, io giurai la vincerò, which means, yes, Lindoro will be mine. I swore it, I will win. So remember, her kind of guardian who's watching her, he's kind of a grumpy dude. He doesn't really like her to be with other guys. He's kind of picky about who he wants to kind of encourage her to marry. But meanwhile, she's kind of like, no, I like this guy, I want this guy, I will marry this guy. I already told myself the other day I'm gonna marry him, let's go. And she says this line a couple times. Si Lindoro mio sarà, io giurai la vincerò. So the next part, il tutor ricuserà. So the tutor will refuse. So she already knows, like, people are gonna be like, no, you can't marry this guy, like, he doesn't have any money, like, what are you doing? Like, and she's like, I don't care about that. Io l'ingegno aguzzerò. So I will sharpen my wit. So she knows everybody's gonna tell her no, that you can't do this, and she's like, I'm gonna find my way around this. I'm gonna get what I want. Alla fin s'acquetterà. Eventually, it will all stop. She's basically kind of saying, like, one way or another, it's all gonna end, and I'm gonna get what I want. And we see that in the next line. E contenta io resterò. And I will stay happy. So she knows everybody's telling her no, but she's like, I don't really care. I'm gonna figure out a way to get around this. This is all gonna end one way or another, and I'm gonna be the one happy in the end. Which, you know, good for her. And then she goes back to her promise one more time. Si Lindoro mio sarà, io giurai la vincerò. So Lindoro is gonna be mine. I already swore it. I will win. But if you thought that was the sassy part, just you wait. So just a quick little note here. You also have to remember during this scene, she is writing a love letter to Lindoro. She's kind of telling him like, hey, I noticed you outside my window. I really like you. I want to let you know how I feel about you. So she's kind of thinking this in her head. This is her kind of move, her action that she's taking to kind of reach out back to Lindoro, like, I see you, I feel you, I like you. And this kind of next little section, we can, again, kind of get a little bit more into those thoughts. First, she starts describing herself, you know, kind of like her good qualities that she thinks she has in being an attractive kind of woman. She's not just gonna go in there like a bull in a china shop and just start wrecking everything. Like, she knows she's gotta play a game here. So she talks about that. Io sono docile. So I am docile. Sono rispettosa. I am respectful. Sono obbediente. So I am obedient. Dolce. Sweet. Amorosa. Loving. So she's kind of describing like, hey, I've got these great qualities. You know, I'm docile. I'm your stereotypical image of femininity. You know, I can be this feminine woman that, you know, is very alluring, very attractive, that everybody else wants me to be, right? I can be this if I choose to be this. Mi lascio reggere. So I let myself be governed. So I really like that line that she says, I let myself be governed. It's not like other people govern her. She allows other people to govern her. Mi fo guidare. I let myself be guided. You know, you think you're guiding me. I'm allowing you to guide me and govern me and tell me what you want from me. It's a little kind of like, I'm sweet, I'm effeminate, and I'm letting you think that, you know, you're telling me what to do. Sure, I let you think that. Ma se mi toccano. But if they touch me, dove il mio debole? Where are my weaknesses? So if they, you know, I'll let you do this stuff. I'm very, you know, effeminate and attractive and alluring. And I let you think you're in control. But if you touch me, if you mess with me, where my weakness is, I'm assuming she's talking about, you know, her love for Lindoro. But if you mess with her, if you try to get in her way, you know, sarò una vipera, sarò. I will be a viper. I will. You know, you mess with me, you gonna pay. E 100 trappole prima di cedere farò giocare. So 100 traps I will set before I get in. So, you know, I will be nice, always sweet, but if you mess with me, I'm gonna set a trap for you and you're gonna pay, and like I'm gonna win. I'm not gonna give in. And then that whole section kind of repeats again, where she talks about like, you know, I'll be sweet, I'll be nice, you know, I'll do what you want because I'm letting you tell me what to do, because, you know, I'll play along with your little games, with whatever you want me to do. But if you start to mess with me, you're gonna pay, basically, is the whole song. And I love this so much. It's so much fun. And Rossini does a really good job of setting the mood to exactly what she's saying, you know? When she's singing that, Io sono docile, rispettosa, you know, it's very sweet, you know, very demure. I'm being demure to play along with you. But when she really turns that around, then it starts getting more like playful, intense, and all over the place. The coloratura starts coming out and she's like, don't mess with me because I will screw with you. Some people's performance, you know, the first time they'll sing it through kind of straight, but like in the example that I gave, for example, she sings the guidar, guided, guidar. So she leads that into the, I let myself be guided, but But that's why I would highly encourage you to listen to a really good recording of the song, because it just adds so much to this. You know the lyrics now, you go and listen to it, and when you understand what they're singing, it just, mwah, oh, it's so beautiful. So yeah, that's basically the whole entire song right there for you. I hope you enjoyed this edition of What the Heck Are They Singing? And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, because I make lots of videos about music and music education and music history. I'm hoping here soon to start branching out of just classical music. I love classical music, don't get me wrong, but I would like to do more than that too. I kind of did one in my last video on Christmas music, did popular Christmas music, but I'm hoping to do some jazz videos here soon, talking about jazz. That'll be really fun. And of course, if you have a good recording of this video you'd like to share, leave a comment down below and tell me what you think of this song, if you know any good versions of this song. And yeah, with that, I'll see you next time. Bye!